guys, it's Morgan coming to you with the Gospel of Two Wheels, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. I am super sorry I did not get this posted earlier, so it is going to be, you guys are going to slowly but surely come on in here, I hope. So most of you won't see this until you watch this later. It's great to be here, guys. It's great to be on the internet with you guys. Chris Burns, there he is. People are going to start showing up here very soon. If you guys are watching this either live or watching this later, make sure you comment who you are, where you're from, and what your favorite dirt bike is. That would be a lot of fun, and it helps us with YouTube algorithms and all that stuff if you guys interact with us. Chester Linz, how's it going? What's everybody drinking for coffee this morning? I have our local Cimarron Coffee Roasters, what is this, Chimney Rock blend, and it's very, very good. Bruce Kennedy, what's going down? If you guys have been watching our Facebook feed, you'll maybe recognize this. Rural Delinquent, what's going down? That is my kid's 125, and it blew right up on Sunday, last Sunday, for our big GJA Test Tune Train Day, and he actually got a long ride in. Actually, a bunch of different rides. Led some people around. They did a bunch of stuff, and he was hill climbing. And the thing let go on this big hill climb. He said it was interesting. He said it made this crunch, bang, 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 and then he shut it off, and then it was locked up. And we all just assumed it was the crank. Gabby Kashi, what's that? From Israel, right on. Thank you for joining us. I have another Israeli friend, Ran, who makes the R-Enduro clutch system. Super rad. Scott Copeland, Chris Burns, Red Bull, nice. And Nathan from Countershocks, I'm ready for the Death March also. See, nothing going down. Wonder if donation could blow up, detonation could blow up a plug like that. It might. It does have a crazy high compression head, but it's been jetted and running really well. So the head doesn't look like it's been detonating, and actually the piston doesn't look like it's been detonating either. I don't know. Kim, I think if you go back and look at our YouTube feed, obviously some people are in there. There's my mom. Everybody say hi to Suzanne. Robbie Childs, what's going on, man? Are you in a combine right now, or are you actually at your house? So this thing blew up. This bike has a long history of being a pain in my ass. We got it from Robbie Noyles, a very gracious gift. It was wonderful. We rode it a little bit until Ewan was big enough to really ride it. Then he got that. We got it to him. He rode it. I let a friend of his borrow it, and it blew up because the air filter cage fell off, and I don't know how to. So the air filter screw and everything was tight. The whole cage fell out of the air boot, like where the big clamp, it fell out. And I'm like, how does that even happen? So that smoked the top end. We replaced it. Whatever. That was weird. Maybe they didn't have it tight because it has a restyle kit. So someone before Robbie had put a restyle kit on it, and so a new air box, and they had to replace that thing and whatever. So I thought, whatever, they didn't get it tight enough, and that sucks. So we replaced it. Then, quite a while later, it actually held up really well for a long time. The crank seized on the kid on the road. He wasn't pinned down the road. He was probably going pretty fast down the road. And we took it apart, and the left side crank seal had been installed backwards. Sandy Smith was going down. Tony Andrews, Sawyer Llewellyn. So left side crank seal been put in backwards. I'm like, wow, that's not helpful. So I guess it finally sucked enough air. So, okay, fixed it. And then the air box thing fell off 2 more times. And y'all, you're in Tofino, who's out there. Nice. Favorite town. Love that town. And on big dusty days, it fell off. I couldn't believe. I was like, and it ran, and we just were taking the seat off to do an air filter, and it's like laying in the box again with the cage all attached to the whatever the rest of the cage, and it just fell. And I'm like, so 2 more times that happened. We thought, wow, God, I can't believe we dodged a bullet. But I'm thinking to myself, it's probably a seasoned crank. It's not going to last forever, but we're just going to keep running it until it blows up. And so it blew up. I thought, well, that's it. It's blowing up. There we go. It happens. Bummer, but we got to, tear it apart. Well, I tear it apart, and amazingly enough, and this is the craziest thing I've ever seen, the porcelain in the spark plug, like inside, broke and fell down into the motor and just got beat to crap by the piston in the head. And honestly, the cylinder looks fine, the crank looks fine, everything looks fine. Now, I'm replacing all that because I've got the cases split. Also, the cases have a little bit of a broken issue at the drain plug from, again, the people before us, before Robbie had put a time cert in it. So we're going to get that all fixed up, welded up, and happy. Hey, there's my dad, Scott Spradling. So we're replacing it all, but the crank amazingly looks good. I've got a brand new cylinder, everything. He's going to get to race, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend at the Grand Junction race. I can't believe it. I've never seen a spark plug do that. I did have some people ask if it had been dropped. That would make sense. That spark plug, as far as I know, had never been dropped. The gap is still good. I mean, it didn't even beat porcelain into the gap, like onto the electrode. So I don't think the spark plug had ever been dropped that I know of. It was a brand new one put in, fresh from a box here at the shop. It wasn't one that had been rattling around in my van or vest or anything like that. So I've never seen that happen. Let me know if you guys have ever seen that happen. It blew my mind. Like I said, it broke inside, went down and around the electrode and into the motor and blew all to crap. So it was a heck of a thing. Myron, stand by. Say hi to Cliff for me when you see him. Cliff who? Myron, I'm not sure who you mean. I'm not, yeah. So, but if I see a Cliff, I will say hi. I don't really know any Cliffs. So, so that was a crazy story. Like I said, I've never seen it, but we got the bike apart and we're gonna put it back together, be all brand new again. John Kepto, what's happening? Damage in manufacture. That's Dave. That's all I can figure. We just got a bad one, and it lasts a long time. It was in there for a couple months. I mean, at least. I don't really change spark plugs often unless we're doing a bunch of maintenance, and they seem to always be good. So yeah, that's my figures. Is like we just got a bad one. It hung on for a very long time, and then it blew up. Cliff Gunn. Oh, Lawrence 14 EXCF. Yes, I will say hi to him. Yes, I think we are. I think you're right. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. I don't know everybody's name that's dropped bikes off because Leandra takes care of the front end stuff and keeps me busy working on stuff. So, but yeah, well, Sea Fleas, right on. Sam Houston National Forest down in Texas. Well, have fun, man. That sounds like awesome time. I wish we were riding right now, but we will be riding dirt bike tonight. I'm very excited. We're going to be heading up to the Uncompahgre Plateau for the last time on a Thursday night for me, at least. I'm not going to be, because a lot of the really fun trails close. The fun single track closes on Labor Day because of hunting. It's a long thing, but it's a big unit up there, trophy unit. So they close a bunch of trails for the hunters, which is cool. And so we have a couple more weeks of that, but we got a race next weekend. So this is the last Thursday night ride on the plateau. So we're going to go hammer down. Ollie, Christopher, no, it is an NGK plug. 100%, unless someone snuck it into a counterfeit one into an NGK box. But I get all my plugs from either Tucky Rocky, Western Power Sports, or Parts Unlimited. So I can only imagine it was the real deal. My mom said, ooh, hot in Texas, no Oklahoma. It's actually beautiful here. It was 60 degrees this morning when I woke up, and it's supposed to only be 83, which is a nice break from what it's been. Got a YZ450 over here. I actually got to change that shock spring, that one right there, this morning. And I have another funny little thing to tell you guys. Just a cautionary tale. So we had a gentleman call yesterday and ask if we could do fork seals today, right now. We said, no, we're way too busy for that. I was revalving a set of suspension yesterday, working on that YZ. Anyway, no way, right? We got a billion motorcycles in here to work on, and Zach's out of town, so I was like, no, I can't do it. So then he said, well, what about tomorrow morning? And Leander's talking to him back and forth. So I was like, well, crap. Let me see. I got the show in the morning, and I could, right after the show, jump on him and do him first thing and kind of sneak him in before some stuff. And then he started complaining about how we couldn't get it done, and he was upset because he's on a trip with 15 other guys, and he really just needs to get this done. And I'm like, well, it's a set of fork seals. You can ride with leaky fork seals, right? I mean, it's not the end of the world. Right? People do it all the time. And I was like, God, tell him, I mean, sorry, man. I could call all these local people that have bikes here that have been here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I haven't got to them. I'm trying to get to them. If he wants to call each and every one of them and ask them personally if it's okay to move his forks ahead of them, I guess we can do that. And it was really interesting. And oh, by the way, he had called every other shop in town, and no one had offered any kind of solution. Everybody else is just plain no. No, we're not going to do it. And he was super sad. I'm going to miss a day of riding and all this stuff. And it's like, well, I don't, whatever. So it turns out he has the seals and the oil because they've been leaking for a long time. They're here now, and they're like pogo sticks. There's no oil left in them, right? So they're like bouncy pogo sticks, and I'm like, so these have been leaking since long before your trip, probably, and it's an old 400 EXC anyway. And so I was like, who is this guy? Like, are you kidding me? You just expect, I mean, if you're going on a big motorcycle trip with all your friends, I highly recommend you doing some serious maintenance on your motorcycle before you leave on the trip. Now, fork seals leak, right? Like, you get mud on them, you ding them, like, that happens, right? I mean, I get it. And, if you can get it fixed on the trip, great. But just ride with the fork seals. Like Ollie, because I would have ridden with the leaky seals. Yeah, I would have ridden them with them too, except for they're unsafe. These forks are unsafe to ride because I think they've been leaking for a long time. And it's amazing how many people they plea to us, like, so I get it. They're on a trip. They don't want anything. They're like, oh my God, I'm on a trip. I'm like, well, I feel for you. I get it. I've been on a trip before and had things break and all that. But the reality is I have a barrage of local people that I have to see every day, talk to every day, keep a good relationship with, and they're ahead of you. Like, that's all there is to it. And if I can work it out, I will. But I'm not going to make one of my other customers super, super angry just to keep you happy. And, and then again, because of your poor planning, it's like, yeah, Jared, it's all my fault that his trip is messed up. Exactly. Yeah, you go, oh, come on, show up at the trailhead and pull apart those forks while all your friends watch and grumble. Yeah. Or, maybe, hey, seat time. What's happening, Woody? So, yeah, here's a little bit of information. Don't do that. Don't go on a trip with a poorly maintained bike and then expect someone in another town to drop everything and make it all work for you over your local customers. And I learned that a long time ago from a good friend of mine that I work for. He's like, dude, local people are our bread and butter. They are the most important people. Now, if we can save a guy's trip, that's awesome. We'll do what we can, but we're not going to lose family time. I'm not going to piss off local customers. There's a lot of things I'm not going to do. So someone asked me if I'd ridden Circle 300s. The two strokes, yes, Ollie, and I really like them. And obviously Husa has too, and they're amazing. I like Shirkos. I really like the way they feel. There's some engineering I don't love about them, but the battery being underneath the air filter is really weird. It's not the end of the world. Definitely not a deal breaker. But there's some other things about Shirkos that are not my favorite. But I do actually really like. I like the way a Shirko feels. It feels very familiar. It feels a lot like a YZ to me. Partially, it's got KYB suspension, so it's good. Let's see. KTM Husky Shirko Beta Reju TM GPX. Too many choices. What 300 should I buy? So throw away the Reju TM and GPX. Don't even think about those. That's just my opinion. You want my opinion? That's my opinion. Don't do those. KTM Husky and Gas are the same, so put that into one thing. So really, you've got Austrian bikes, Betas, and Shirkos. For me, it's between Beta and KTM or Austrian. Honestly, after riding them back-to-back, a brand new Beta, which I really liked, and then my bike and the new 24 XCW, I'm choosing a KTM or a Husky, or well, probably not a Gas. I don't think they have the TBI, but I'm choosing some TBI bike, and whatever chassis makes the most sense for you, whether it be more, if you got really gnarly stuff, I'd go with the PDS XCW. If you're a little faster, not you are faster, but you like riding faster terrain, I'd go with something with a linkage. The John Capdo, I don't know. Get the Shirko. I'm just north of you in Vancouver. Great bike for out riding. There you go. And so Husa loves his Shirko. And a lot of people love their Shirko. I just... what he said, I wrote his after I cut him with his chainsaw. I like the Shirkos. I've ridden newer ones too, and I like them a lot. Jared, no. No one's paying for that motor except for me and him. He's going to help me. He's not kicking down any cash. He's going to help me do it. But that plug was in there long enough that it's not their fault. I mean, I can't prove it's their fault. Like, I can't prove it wasn't dropped in the box somewhere, right? I can't prove anything. So, and Bruce, it's surprised the guy didn't show up at the house last night. He tried. So I was down here late taking that motor apart because, again, I'm busy. I'm not going to even throw my kid's bike in front of customers' bikes. I have customer stuff to do, right? Things that people who pay me, people who expect me to get things done, people who have been waiting. So I hammered down on that stuff during the day, and then when the day was over, actually I kept hammering on it for a while Ewan came down. He took the motor out of the frame, took the whole bike apart, got the motor out of the frame, gave it to me. Then he went home because he had homework to do. Otherwise, he would have helped me split the cases. And then I did it, but the guy actually tried to get me to do them late last night. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. He tried to get me to do him late last night and then call him when I was done to come get him. I laughed right in his face. I was like, dude, I am not calling you late at night and that's not happening. Like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, sorry, man. Like, it's not happening. I ain't doing it. So, yeah. Yeah, dude, MotoMaster, there's always one guy. Yeah, it just sucks. Woody says, heard Shirko copied some Suzuki geometry. They might have, and they might have copied it, and they do run, like, the handle really well. I like the motor is really good too. There's some things I don't like. And it's not, like I said, they're not deal breakers for sure, but we don't, again, you got to understand my perspective also. And here, you guys want my opinion, I'm going to give it to you. When I'm choosing a bike, I'm also looking at the support near me, right? So we have a KTM, really good KTM dealer with really good techs who really actually know what they're doing. And I have a really good relationship with them, and they work with me on prices of bikes, and they sell me OEM parts really cheap and all the things, right? So that makes sense for me to buy a KTM because it's easy to get parts, it's easy to deal with it and all that. We don't have a Shirko dealer anywhere near us. So, I mean, they can ship things, I get it, but like, I like to have a relationship face-to-face if I can. And then the Beta dealer that's close to us, an hour away, are the worst people ever. So that's why I don't have a Beta. One of the things. There you go, Kenberg. So he's got a Sherco. Sucks for trailer riding. Vibrates too much. Did they counterbalance that thing though, Kinberg? Like the new ones? I don't know. How old is yours? And before the Mako 3, there we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the comments here, guys. Poor playing on his part does not constitute. Yeah, I know. Mine is tuned to go hard, 19-300. I think they counterbalanced them after that, Chris. Maybe not. I don't know. Need the Fantic 300 to hit the U.S. Ooh, that'd be. I'm interested in that. That's a cool bike. Let's see. Do you work with any graphic companies? If not, does that interest you at all, Nick Porter? I mean, I deal with Decal Works, but like they don't sponsor me. I mean, I get a dealer discount, but that's it. Saw someone wearing your shirt on TKO Tennessee video. Oh, was it Chris Kinberg? Did you wear my shirt on TKO video? It might be because Chris Kinberg, who's here right now watching, was there, and I think he did pretty well, Chris. I didn't get to watch your recap yet. Let's see. A 250 XT TBI yet. Sharif, I have not. I haven't ridden one of the 250s. I know, I mean, the 300 is so good, I can only imagine the 250's just as good, but revs higher and is probably a little bit smoother. I have a really good friend, but he still cut me with his chainsaw. Be careful who you trust. Oh, Woody, I love you so much. Steven Stanton, so if I go KTM Husky Gas, try and get TBI, either get a carburetor or TBI, just don't bother with the TPI. Just don't do it. Now, for bite, that's amazing out of the box. No tuning, I'll get a new KTM. Yeah, so, yeah, Kinberg rode a bone stock KTM 300 TBI when we were together, and he was like, oh my God. It's incredible. And I actually had a long talk with some really good friends of mine who are here in town, which is really great to see them. Haven't seen them in forever. And they're both like crazy beta fans, crazy. And we had a long talk about the TBIs and the betas. And like I said, I really like beta. That is definitely my second choice. And the KTM these days right now is the best bike on the market. Period. That's just my opinion. I can't say that it's not a fact, right? But for me, my kind of riding, what I like to do, all my parameters, right? Like ease of work on, ease of finding parts, like that, all that crammed in together. The new TBI KTM's hands down. TBT logo on Rich Larson's bike. Right on, Jared. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, TBT, we're everywhere, which is cool. Wrench one, I'm sorry, it sucks. The dealer is all about what makes a difference, right? And dumbasses want me to do stupid crap. I charge stupid high rates. Sadie Smith, I thought about just charging him like triple, like $900 to do forks and getting it back to him last night, but my time is worth more than that. Yeah. Who's 22 Sherco's counterbalance? I think they did that in 20. Not as good as KTM counterbalance. You get used to it. So, and like, let's talk about the counterbalancing real fast, because the KTM counterbalance is the best on the market. It's better than the Beta, better than the Sherco. It's crazy smooth. But that being said, I rode non-counterbalanced 300s and obviously non-counterbalanced YZs, and it never bothered me that they weren't counterbalanced until they became counterbalanced. So you don't know what you don't know. And the Beta and the Sherco, while they are not as smooth as the KTM, they're still crazy smooth, especially compared to the non-counterbalanced version. So that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me either. What's the knock on TM? Dude, ask Chris about it. He loves his TM. It works great. All that. I've ridden it. Honestly, I really like the way it rode. Around here, where I live, trying to find TM parts is forget it. And if I can't open up my like normal catalogs, like my Tucker Rocky, Western Power Sports, Parts Unlimited catalog, or Rocky Mountain ATV MC or whatever, then I'm out. Like yeah. So it's a boutique Italian brand. It's pretty cool. And if it were my fifth bike, I'd have one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But it's a cool bike to have as long as you got other bikes. So that's how I feel. Any advice on how to get a little more snap out of a 23 XCW? without breaking the bank. Already adjust the power valve. Motormaster, the best money you can spend on that is TSP, tune, and head, but that is expensive. And I think it's like $800 to do head, tune, and injector relocator, and that makes that bike like almost as good as the TBIs. It's really, really good, but it is expensive. So I think you can just get the tune, and that's not too much money, and that helps a bunch. Actually, yeah. Well, I don't know. They might make you buy a head, but Travis from Every Single Sunday, he had a tune in like the medium comp head without the injector relocator, and he was super happy with that bike. And like when I took it apart and did a piston, cylinder looked great, piston looked great, like lots of oil, looked really good. Yeah, another one for TM is hard to get parts. So Palco Land and Cattle. Bought a 23 XCW for my girlfriend. It's too tall for her. Would it be better off selling it, getting a better X trainer, or lowering the XCW? Well, depends on your budget. Depends on what you're trying to get. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. So the X trainer is a really cool bike, and it's lower and all that. It just depends on how hard she rides. Because if she's fast and like aggressive and getting better and all that, then the X trainer suspension is going to let her down eventually, and you're going to have to spend a bunch of money to upgrade that into better suspension. So it might end up being money ahead to just lower the XCW. It depends on how much you got to lower it to. Garrett Anderson, I wish someone would make plastic for the KTMs also. I think someone is. I got an aftermarket white rear fender for mine. I forget who made it. Decal Works sent it to me with some graphics because I broke mine. Still think the 24 300 XCW is slow. Sharif, don't dump it. I can't talk about exactly anything. Don't dump it. Don't dump it. Just wait and stay tuned. Mako 360 good. Yeah. So yeah, Dave, the Mako 360 helps a lot with vibration situations. It really does. So if you're struggling with that, then it's good. Rich Pierce coming in. I love my old two-stroke Mega Vibration. It does make you feel like you're going super fast. Woohoo, finally able to watch this live. Right on, dude. Mike, went to watch TKO. Amazing how, yeah, dude. Mike Frank is talking about how easy the pros make it look. It's nuts. It's crazy what they can do. It's not right, honestly. It's inappropriate how good those guys are. That's awesome. Glad you got to see that. Are the 6 days Erzberg Rodeo hard enduro versions worth the extra dough? Steve Stanton, depends on what you find important. Honestly, the only things that would matter to me are triple clamps, because that's an actual upgrade. Disc guards. I don't know. All the rest of it, like skid plate and all that, you'd be better off getting a better skid plate anyway. So it's hard. I don't know. I don't know. They're really cool. Sharif, high five. And like I said, stay tuned. I love it. Dale Pellerin. I really want a new KTM, and cost isn't an issue, but I hate orange. Went to Oklahoma. I love it, Dale. I am a Cowboys fan because I'm from Oklahoma. I'm an OSU fan, so that is phenomenal. I grew up in the days of Barry Switzer, and obviously Oklahoma dominating a lot of football, but I freaking hate the guy, so so good. Anyway, buy a Husky, and you're good. Tony Borian, seems like TSP increased fuel mileage. Tony, I don't know yet. I think it has. I really haven't tested it. I haven't done a day where I watched miles and kind of looked at I haven't really, but I think so. My initial impression is yes. And they also Chris Kinberg, buy a Husky or gas. Except for the problem with the gas is they have not caught up with the TBI yet, unless maybe the 24s have. And Tony, was I supposed to call you? I feel like I was supposed to call you, and I lost the note. It's been so crazy with Zach. Zach's on a cruise right now, and then he's leaving for the National Guard in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So life's been a little nuts. So Tony, if you call, please call back and let me know, and I will give you a call. I'm super sorry. Just email me actually, and I'll call you. So yeah, I apologize. Yeah. Anyway, it was nuts. We talk about soccer now. I love it. Yes. And Jared, yes, I am ready for the Grand Junction Weeby race. I can't wait. Just say you went to Oklahoma State University. Yeah, there you go. Just say you went to the better school, and then you'll be good. I love it. Guys, it's 7:59. I am going to have to shut this thing down at 8 o'clock, or at least really close, because I'm going to do that guy's forks and get them done this morning, like I said from the original interaction with him before he started being a wiener. Travis Brock, what's happening? Again, thank you, Travis, for everything. I appreciate it. Do you like the design on the hybrid aluminum plastic subframes on the new KTMs? Stephen Stanton, it's been fine. I don't know. I like how it all bolts up. I haven't really had any issues with it. So, yeah, I haven't broken one yet, so that's good. I have crashed the bike pretty hard, so it seems to hold up pretty good, but I don't know for sure. Yes, OSU, go Pokes. There's my mom. I knew it. Seat time. I will do it for $1 million. All right, guys. I love you so much. Punk Rock Club, you guys are my favorite. You know you're my favorite. I love you actually more than I love everyone else. And you guys are my favorite people ever. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. We need more dirt bikers, because dirt bikers are better people than everyone else. And would it be cool to drop off my bike Monday for Wednesday? No, because we're not open Monday. So anyway, I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but way more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!